Hi everybody, my name is Jared and I am a Master Mason in the state of Mississippi in the United States of America. And today's viewer's question is, why do you wear aprons on your waist when you're in your tuxedos? Well, that's a good question, but I will say that not everywhere, and if I dare step too far, say not very many places still wear tuxedos as a part of normal, everyday lodge attire. In fact, here in the state of Mississippi, I only know of one group that purposefully wears tuxedos. That happens to be the Scottish Rite degree team that goes around and helps confer degrees around the state of Mississippi. And while they do look quite sharp, I think that part of the reason that tuxedos are not normal fare in Mississippi is just because of the general cost of them. It used to be that Freemasonry was quite an expensive thing. That not only was it expensive because of the upkeep of the more elaborate buildings and things like that, but there was also a certain amount of buy-in that was involved, where you knew if you were willing to put that amount of money toward the fraternity, that you were really buying in on it and you were going to participate and you really wanted to get something out of it, you really wanted to be charitable, and so on and so forth. Nowadays there are still lodges out there that only charge $35 per year for membership. And there's only so much that can be done with that, even with a half decent membership. So tuxedos don't really fall into the realm of things, because in a lodge where people only want to expend $35 per year for membership, it might be a little difficult to get them to go and spend, say, $200 on a good tuxedo. For them to wear every single time they come to lodge in 100-degree weather with 100% humidity, in a lodge whose air conditioner is malfunctioning, and all those sorts of things. So I think that's probably where we've lost some of that. Now, that's not to say that we don't have a certain dress standard that's involved, but I, for one, really focused in on how you said specifically tuxedos, and while I like a good sharply dressed lodge myself, I don't believe that is common day fare anymore. But to your point, asking about the aprons, the explanation for the apron is pretty short and simple and is explained in the Entered Apprentice degree. And here in the state of Mississippi, it's written down, so public information. I've talked about it before in a very specific video. I'll leave a description to it up there in that I-bar thing. But it is simply this. The apron is an emblem of innocence and the badge of a Mason. So the way we think about it is that the lamb skin that it was traditionally made from, that the lamb itself was an emblem of innocence, that lambs were innocents. It's where we get the referring to Jesus Christ as the lamb, and so many other references to the lamb, and the purity of their white wool, that we talk about reminding ourselves as Freemasons to stay pure. It's just that reminder, that physical reminder, that we need to act in a way that doesn't stain the apron, if you will. We want to make sure that it stays pure. And I guess badge of a Mason, I've never heard any other greater detail of that than otherwise what you mentioned. It clearly tells you that person is a Freemason. So I hope that gives you a little bit of explanation to it. We wear the aprons as a way to remind us about that, but it does also have some ritualistic or ceremonial use as well, and goes into the more traditional uses of operative Masons that would have actually worn physical aprons while being stone Masons. So there's a tie-in there as well. So there's the tie to the traditional operative Mason, and then there's the understanding and the thought process of the speculative Mason on why we still use the lambskin aprons. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight. If you have more questions about the apron, check out that other video. And if it still doesn't answer your questions, then leave that comment down below, and I'll do my best to try to answer your question in another video. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.